Hey everyone, how's it going? So what am I working on now? I got a 2014 Ford Escape 1.6 EcoBoost with 108,000 miles on it. Sounds a little familiar. I think I made a video on this. Anyway, customer's complaint is it's stuck in first gear and it wouldn't go into reverse. However, the tow truck driver said he was able to back up with it. Who knows? Sitting maybe did something? I don't know. I got my scanner hooked up. Now, oddly enough, usually if you have transmission problems, it will throw a check engine light. There's no check engine light. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan it for codes and see if I got anything. So as you see on the cluster, I got it idling. There's no codes. Here we go. Here's the scanner. Let me close the door. I'm going to let it run through a code scan. Sorry about the sun glare. Let me move the vehicle. Engine is not running. Yeah, okay. Continue. Pre-scan. Engine overspeed. Gear 1 incorrect ratio. Okay, that's a problem. I'll tell you right now. Let's see what transmission says now. One thing I hate, and I mentioned it before with the scanner, is anytime you try to go, gear 1 incorrect ratio pending DTC. I'm going to look up the diagnostics for it, but I'm 99% certain because I just went through this with one of these. Gear ratio 1 error, or any gear ratio error code, what that means is it knows the engine speed going in. It knows you're in first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, depending on what kind of transmission you got. So it has a calculation. Let's just use even numbers here. It knows you have 3,000 RPM going into the transmission. Well, it's in this gear, so you should have only 1,000 RPM coming out of it, just using those numbers. Obviously, 1,000 RPM would be a little high, but that's what it's expecting to see. So if it's, let's just say it's got 3,000 going in, but it only sees 100 coming out. Well, it's like, something's wrong. That's the incorrect ratio now. So that's why it sets that code. Normally, anytime I've ever seen this, if you follow the diagnostic steps for the code, it'll tell you to inspect a drum or a planetary gear set or something, which means R&R the transmission and disassemble it. Well, let me try moving this thing in the parking lot and see what it does. Here's the weird thing. This thing is actually stuck. And I'm not quite sure why. It's stuck on ABS. I've never had a problem before. It tells you to have the engine not running. And obviously I have the engine running. But I don't really care anything more beyond engine and transmission. And both of those have the incorrect gear ratio error set. So let's just try moving the vehicle and see what happens. Okay. So I'm in drive right now. It may not do anything here. It's possible. Sometimes with speed sensor codes, it could be input or output speed sensors creating the problem. Usually not. But I have seen it. Ooh, and the transmission is whining. I do not know if you can hear that in the video. Oh yeah, there's definitely a problem here. Transmission does not sound happy. Sorry if I'm filming my arm there. You hear it? Okay, yeah. We definitely got something going on here. This thing does not have a dipstick either. This has a plug on the side of the transmission that you have to remove. You notice in gear, Oh, now it's got nothing. See that? It won't even select S. Selects drive. It won't even select reverse now. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to shut this down. Start it back up. Oh, yeah. Oh, jeez. Here's something mechanically broken in the transmission. So, all right. That's done for. So, this is going to need a transmission. It's going to need a unit. It's not something we're going to get into rebuilding. It's not worth it, in all honesty. A lot of people say, oh, why don't you rebuild them anymore? Because by the time you're done rebuilding them, we have to warranty it. And it costs the same as buying a remanufactured unit. Buy a remanufactured unit, depending on the unit, you could get a 1 year, 12,000 mile warranty, a 336, a 5100. You can get a 10100, depending on the transmission. So, why not do that? Because otherwise, we'd have to warranty it. Which means if it failed on them on the road, we'd have to pay somebody else to fix it. So, that's why a lot of shops don't do that. And a lot of shops won't even honor the warranty if it goes to another shop. Like, let's say you're out of state. You're out of luck. But if you have a reman unit that you installed, and especially one from the factory, from the manufacturer, like for this, if you had a Ford unit, or from you had a Nissan one and you put a Nissan unit in it, stuff like that. A lot of times they'll cover it no matter where you are. Even with like the bigger manufacturers, Jasper or Witt or any of those that do transmission reman units, they'll warranty it no matter where it goes in the country. So it's worth it. Why spend the same amount of money and then being responsible for the warranty? No, thank you. Plus, then you got to take the chance of it does happen where you rebuild one, and guess what? When you're done, something's wrong, and then you got to take it back out again, and then it's all on you. No, thank you. Especially not on one of these. I just did one. All right. Well, we're leaving this there because obviously this thing has an internal failure and it's going to need a unit. All right. That's going to be it for this one. Hopefully you're getting something out of my videos. If you are, hit that like button. Could please subscribe. All right, guys. Have a great day. Keep wrenching.